Hello guys and girls, this is Kentucky from Looking for Guides. Today let's take a closer look on the Battle for Azeroth beta Frost Mage. This is a little bit similar as the Fire Mage, since this also received almost no changes, mainly only talent changes. But let's take a look on the spellbook first. We received Arcane Intellect, which is our 1-hour intellect buff, which is why every raid will need a mage. Moving forward, we also received Remove Curse, as all mages received, which is a great utility. And then we only have changes via talents. For example, Fingers of Frost proc chances have been nerfed slightly, and Mastery has been a little bit reworked, because now it will not increase the damage of your water elemental, so your water elemental will always do a flat amount of damage. But Mastery will increase the damage of your frozen orb, which greatly increases your AoE damage output. And at first I would like to show you the pet stuff, because the water ally is now only casting water bolts and nothing else, because water jet has been removed. And freeze also have been nerfed. It will no longer grant you Fingers of Frost charges. It will only freeze your targets. So water element is pretty weak right now. That's why you will not really play with water elemental. In most situations you will choose Lonely Winter. In heavy AoE, if you need a burst damage increase, you should choose Ice Nova, because it is a AoE burst damage, which deals a high damage to the primary target and a little bit lower damage to all the around targets. And it also freezes them, so it might be a really good option for Mythic Plus on fortified weeks. Bone Chilling is a sustained damage increase. It will mainly be used in sustained AoE damage, because for a single target where your Frostbolt, Ice Lance and Fury deals most of your damage, then their Lonely Winter is flat out better, because it is 20% increased damage, and Bone Chilling is only 5% if you stack it up to a maximum number. So Bone Chilling will be a AoE sustain tool. Ice Nova will be a AoE burst / utility tool, and Lonely Winter should be used in all other situations. For example, cleave, single target, burst, single target sustain, and so on. Level 30, Glacial, Insulation, Shimmer, and Ice Flows. Shimmer is the same as it has been. It is a 2-charge blink. It's nice. Not that awesome, but nice. Glacial Insulation is just increases the defensive capabilities of your ice barrier, and also makes your ice block applies ice barrier when it fades. So it should be used in every heavy incoming damage situation, specifically in raids. But most of the time, I mean 90%, you will use Ice Flows, because Ice Flows makes your next your next mage spell cast within 10 seconds to be able to be casted on the move. So you can just apply your Ice Flows and cast and move at the same time anything which is lower than 10-second cast time. So it is a awesome tool. So I recommend Ice Flows. Level 45 row is Encounters, Flow, Mirror Image, and Rune of Power. Rune of Power should be taken anytime if you can know for sure that for the next 10 seconds you will put out huge damage, which is, for example, the Ray of Frost talent setup, or the Glacial Spike Cleave setup. So it could be really good for single target burst. But for most other situations, Encounters Flow, for example for AoE and stuff, Encounters Flow just flat out better than Rune of Power, because it is always on. it is on average a 10% damage increase, and Rune of Power is a 40% damage increase only for 10 seconds every 40 seconds. So it's not that great as encounter slow in AoE and sustain damaging situations. And if you don't take Ray of Frost or Glacial Spike. Mirror Image is like weaker than both other options. Level 60, Frozen Touch, Chain Reaction and Ebon Bolt. Ebon Bolt is our artifact ability, it should be used as in Legion, it is a great spell, I like it, and Splitting Ice also makes your Ebon Bolt to also hit a second nearby target. So it is a great spell. However, Chain Reaction should be used in cleave situations, because Ice Lance increases Ice Lance against frozen targets increases the damage of your Ice Lances by 3% for 10 seconds, and it stacks up to 5 times. So if you get good procs, good Ice Lance procs, then you will have a large amount of damage increase for your Ice Lances. But Chain Reaction might not be the best option with the Glacial Spike stuff, because you won't really cast too many Ice Lances. You will most likely cast a very lot of Frostbolts. That's why Frozen Touch is a great option for the cleave as well. So these spells are both great for cleave and for single target, and basically maybe Chain Reaction is the only talent with an option for slight AoE damage, and that's all, because we won't use Splitting Ice in AoE. So moving forward, level 75 tier is Frigid Winds, Ice Sword and Ring of Frost. Ring of Frost is the AoE incapacitate effect, it's really useful. Ice Sword is the double charge for Frost Nova, not really good. And Frigid Winds also a pretty weak option, because it only makes your movements with slowing options to be 15% stronger, which is not really good. Level 90 tier is Freezing Rain, Splitting Ice and Comet Storm. Comet Storm is currently not competitive, not even with Splitting Ice, but also with Freezing Rain. Which makes you have two choices in this tier. Basically Splitting Ice for every single target or two target cleave situation. And Freezing Rain should be chosen in every single AoE situation. So it's very easy to choose between these two talents. Level 100 tier is Thermal Void, Ray of Frost and Glacial Spike. Glacial Spike definitely will be your best option in a two target cleave because of Splitting Ice and because of also Chain Reaction. And of course Lonely Winter and so on. But for single target, Ray of Frost is way better with the Rune of Power build and with Ebon Bolt, because you can deal huge amounts of damage during your Rune of Power cycles. And I will show you at first this. Currently Thermal Void is good against extended AoE, where you will use your Ice Veins, but for single target and cleave it is underperforming than Ray of Frost or Glacial Spike. So let's see this kind of single target situation. At first we will apply Ice Veins, then Frozen Orb, Ice Veins, then Rune of Power, then Frozen Orb, then Ebon Bolt, then Ray of Frost. We will use our Flurry, and until we have the Rune of Power, we channel our Ray of Frost. We use our procs, use again our Rune of Power, and then just use any time left from your Icy Veins by then. And play as you played in Legion, basically. Except this burn phase, of course. As you can see here, Frozen Orb and Ray of Frost deals huge damage in a short amount of time. Also in single target and AoE. Of course, Frozen Orb also hit the other targets, so it's not really relevant. Flurry and Ice Lance deals almost the same if they proc well. Icicle, Frostbolt and Ebon Bolt is just the filler spells now. They don't really do that much damage. So we can switch to the AoE oriented build with this Freezing Rain, Thermal Void. Well, it doesn't really matter because we won't use our Ice Veins here. And as you can see here, you can just freely use your Blizzard. And there's another free Blizzard. If you cause, you can Cone of Cold and also use the other abilities you have if you don't have anything to cast. So it is pretty much the same as it was, I think. But moving on to the wait a minute, to the Cleave talent. It will be the Splitting Ice, Chain Reaction and Glacial Spike. We can just wait until the Ray of Frost comes off cooldown. Until then, I will tell you that Chain Reaction is good for Cleave when you proc a lot of Ice Lances and when you pay attention to always cast Ice Lance to refresh its damage increase duration. So you have to take really good care of this debuff on the target. But if you can't, or Ice Lance refuses to proc often, you should also choose Ebon Bolt, and because of Splitting Ice, Ebon Bolt will also cleave. So I will show you this version, because it is a slightly different version. So let's take a look on Glacial Spike. Here it is. And we can also use Lonely Winter. So basically, Cleave is just like easy as this is. And if you receive your 5th Icicle, then you can cast your Glacial Spike, which impales both targets and deals a massive amount of damage. And you can still do your single target DPS. And Glacial Spike again. You can notice that it deals a massive amounts of damage, mainly if you have a lot of critical strike. Here you can see that Glacial Spike does your most damage in cleave situations, then Ice Lance, and then the spells that generally doesn't cleave. So that was it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Frost Mage little video, and see you in the Warlock videos next time. Bye bye.